Welcome back to Health Talk. I'm your host, Dr. Fred Lowry.
You're not Dr. Fred.
Oh, no, I'm not. But Dr. Fred joins us this morning. Was that pretty good? What'd you think about that, sir? Did I hit that one pretty good?
That was pretty slick.
Yeah. Dr. Fred Lowry of Lowry Drug, located on Hartness Road in Statesville. Second-generation pharmacist, second-generation show host. Is that also fair to say?
No, it's not.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll just keep it going then. You've been doing a show, though, for quite some time and sharing information with folks. Do you consider the information that you talk about controversial?
Yes, sometimes. It maybe shouldn't be, but you know how perceptions are, and people get locked into things. And what I try to do is just present information that I find in the literature, including studies and things that are trying to keep up to date on current issues, and let people make their own decision.
Are you a fan of RFK Jr.?
Yeah, I think I am. I think he's making some changes that are uncomfortable for some people, but you know, he recently defunded about almost $500 million in more messenger RNA research for a platform that obviously has issues, and so his focus is to not just to defund them, but say, okay, what can we do? What research can we fund that can be effective in the world of vaccinations?
And so messenger RNA, that's when people see mRNA, that's what that is, I assume, right?
It is.
And so what does that even mean, just generally speaking? Because that relates back to the COVID vaccine, right? The mRNA delivery methodology of the vaccine. Is that what that's tied to?
Yeah, but it goes back before that. That technology was used in cancer therapies to deliver genetic information and material to hopefully kill the cancer that individuals had. So the technology had been around, but then they repurposed it for COVID virus, and that was should have never been done to begin with, but it was nonetheless. And of course, now we've got a lot of vaccine skepticism, and there are a lot of parents out there that are very concerned about the shots that their children are getting, the chronic health issues of our young population, and recently the American Academy of Pediatrics is going after the religious exemptions. So, in other words, if it is legal in North Carolina to claim a religious exemption, so that you say, I do not want my children to get the shot, or I may not want to get this shot, or I want to whatever the case may be. But they want that to go away, so it would be a mandated health intervention without really, it kind of goes against liberties. And of course, religious freedom is a kind of a subset of general personal liberties as well.
Yeah, and I will stand by that. People can choose if they have true, religious liberty of choosing and saying, hey, based on my beliefs, I am not going to take this vaccine, and it shouldn't limit me on what I'm able to do, especially when we're talking about the government, and the abilities to say yes, no, maybe because you won't take an action. So I have no problem saying that. Yeah, if you're claiming a religious exemption, you should be allowed to do that. I think the hard part becomes of like, this is where we get into the theological debate of people's intent in their minds, right? Like, how do you say, okay, this is religious or not? Truly is the person believe that in their heart, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what faith really comes back down to. That's a different kind of debate. In the medical field over time, is like religious exemption, that's like an America only thing, or is it go beyond America?
I'm not sure. I can't comment on that, but basically, going back to that belief, it comes down to a deeply held belief. And the thing is, in the medical community, many practitioners, many pharmacists, many nurses really have no idea what's in those injections. And, one the main things that really bothers people is many of those viruses were grown in fetal cell lines that had been that came from aborted human fetuses, and so that has significant impact, I think, for people with different religious convictions, and it's also a thing where some of that genetic material can actually be in the product, and that's not up for debate because they have guidelines for how much, or limits on how much of that can be there.
We're talking with Dr. Fred Lowry of Lowry Drug, located on Hartness Road in Statesville. He's also the host of Health Talk. It airs every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Multi-generational experience here. And you can catch the show live and also on demand anytime on social, wherever you listen to your podcast, and always the WSIC News app. I saw some article, and I don't know if it's true, so two-part question here. First, is there like synthetic stuff in the flu shot, like aluminum or something? There was some kind of thing inside the flu shot that became a question recently. One, is that true? Two, generally speaking, look, I don't know anything about anything, Dr. Fred. How can I, as a normal, let's say a normal human being, and normal obviously being a relative term, figure out what's real and what's not in the medical world here in 2025?
It's really tough, for people to you dig in and understand. And I think if you listen to my show, you'll get some appreciation for that, and it'll give you some maybe vectors to go down and do your own research. So it's for the standard layperson. I think it is difficult, but we're in a different health model now, and one of the things I promote too is to you really have to take care of yourself now and really look out for yourself, because obviously and unfortunately the powers that be, the leadership, at least in the past, has led us down the wrong path.
Not requiring a certain answer, putting you on the spot. I know that it's not for any particular one way or another. It's just asking generally, just purely based on freedom here. Do you get a flu shot every year?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Why is that?
Absolutely
Can I ask you
not.
why? Why, in your belief, do you not get a flu shot each year? Can I ask you that?
Well, think about it like this: the flu material that they're using is viruses from years ago, up to 4 or 5 years ago. The flu viruses always change. They change. They don't necessarily change as fast as the cold viruses or COVID-related viruses, but they change. So, you really can't immunize against viruses that make those changes so quickly. And if I'm not mistaken, I was actually alive during those past years and was exposed to those other viruses. So, I have some immunity to those viruses. So the main thing is to stay healthy, and it's normal to get sick. It's normal to catch a cold occasionally or the flu, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Take care of yourself, and you'll get over it. But I just don't think they're effective.
As a pharmacist, you certainly deal a lot in the medication world, right? And you're very in tune with what's going on. So obviously, if people have questions, that they can reach out to you too after they've seen their provider, and you don't go against what the provider says in essence, but you do certainly offer good advice to folks. In addition to that, though, you're big on what we eat is important. What's more important, what we eat or exercise in the day? Would you say which would you say is more important?
What you eat, no doubt. Being active is certainly very important, but eating quality food, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today in the marketing of food. And, the ultra-processed food, another kind of ick factor here is there's a company, I think it's Cinemex, that uses some of those fetal cell lines to test chemicals to see how they respond in such a way that may tweak your brain and make you eat more. And so, that whole food industry is designed to make you eat more. And, I think we may be the only country that just snacks all the time. We eat between meals, and it's just junk. And if you look at the health of our population, it just creates obesity. None of that stuff should be going in your body. But think about the fact that they've got stuff in there that tweaks your brain to make you want to eat more, which is an addiction, and it changes your neural pathways. So, it's crazy, the technology that they've come up with to make you buy those products.
Speaking of the human body, I got this thing, Dr. Fred. I'm waking up at like 3 a.m. right now where I'm just like peeing all the time. What's going on? What do you think, best diagnosis, knowing me, knowing my habits? What do you think?
That's a little known pH shift in your body in order to remove some toxins. So 3 o'clock is a prime time that a lot of people wake up, and it's also a time that sometimes cortisol starts kicking in, and that makes you mentally alert and can't go back to sleep. There are ways to fix that, by the way.
He speaks only facts. Dr.
That's
Fred
right,
Lowry
that's right.
of Lowry Drug, located on Hartness Road in Statesville. He's the host of Health Talk, airs every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. here on WSIC. You can watch it and listen to it live. You can also catch it on demand on social, wherever you listen to your podcast, and always the WSIC News app. Dr. Fred, we so appreciate you stopping by. Looking forward to a great show and hope you have a great weekend, sir.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.